Good evening, everyone. The Space Force awarded SpaceX $1.6 billion in launch orders. Believe it or not, Starliner might actually fly this year. The Trump administration is shifting science funding from academia to individual scientists. How is that going to work? An abandoned SpaceX rocket is about to crash into the moon about 6 days from now. Now what? There's a complaint that private companies could ruin the night sky for everyone. There's absolutely nothing we can legally do about it. Sphinx Defense wins $287 million for strategic defense. Experts say current Starship heat shield tech may be a dead end for rapid reuse, despite that lovely photo of the latest landing. MDA Space issues a $600 million in senior notes to finance U.S. expansion. Excuse me. Amazon Leo seeks FCC approval to launch 5,105 satellites that would connect with mobile devices. I got some things to say about that. And NVIDIA is sending GPUs to the moon for the first time. From the news desk at the Center for Space Commerce and Finance, my name is Thomas Andrew Olson, and this is The Unknown Quantity. As you know, this podcast is brought to you by the Center for Space Commerce and Finance. And what do? Of course, you know, we champion and strengthen emerging space startups and space-adjacent enterprises worldwide through advisory, access, and advocacy. Our legendary pitch events and world-class boot camps fortify startups to be better investor-ready. Now, in addition, this podcast, which has become more or less a crown jewel of our activities, is largely supported by our listeners and fans like you. So if you go to cscf.space/support, click that plain as day donate button. $10, $25, $50, $100 even is not a lot in the grand scheme of things, but sure makes a big difference for us. And it's U.S. tax deductible. Don't forget to like and subscribe and tell your friends that really, I'm telling you, subscribe, because we get to generate a lot of data about who comes and watches our show, and that helps us get support from outside sources and maybe leads to sponsorships. So please subscribe. Now, speaking of friends, my longest space friend, Michael Lane, who just finished smoking the peace pipe with Ron Wiener, is here with us right now. Michael, get in here.
Hey, how's things? I'm good. The peace pipe. I was going to tell you about Ron. We're gonna sponsor he's really figured out the LinkedIn algorithm. He really has. He's basically he's gone from about 50,000 impressions over the last couple of years and jumped it up to, he's at 1.4 million now. He'll definitely hit 2 million impressions. I mean, it's really remarkable. So we're going to take a class, and I'm going to bring you to that class.
Good. We're going to, we need to crack the code, and he has apparently cracked it. So absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It's kind of cool.
And they're coming in. Jason's here. Veronica's here. Veronica's here. Hi.
Jason, dude, how is it that you are only a second level LinkedIn connection? I sent your connection request today. I'm like, wait, that can't be right. Anyway, I'm trying to do the work to make LinkedIn work for us. So
absolutely.
And hey, Joe's here. Hey, Joe, everybody's here. Thanks everybody for being here. Love you guys. All right.
As you know, today is news night, punctuated by, I forgot to mention this, we're doing a deep dive into the Space Foundation semi-annual report on the global space industry. It looks pretty good.
Yeah. Ron is brilliant. I will tell him you said that.
Absolutely. It's absolutely true. Okay, what's up first? Well, it's a very quick one. It's
This is always space news. It's always quick.
it's always quick. It's just space news, right? But the important part is there's money on the table once again. SpaceX once again got 1.6 billion in launch orders for our military satellite networks. Now that stock went down another $3 today, but
Mhm.
a Rocket Lab is up 6. I guess their announcements finally caught up with them.
It went. It
What is
went down
this?
again.
Stellar Dispatch. What is going on here? That's not
What's
the link
happening?
I sent you. What is going on?
You're still on
Anyway,
the space news account, right?
yeah. But anyway, the Space Force awarded SpaceX 2 launch task orders worth 1.6 billion total to
Yeah.
deploy military satellite constellations, more constellations, making the largest publicly announced batch of missions yet under the National Security Space Launch Phase 3 program. So they keep bringing it in, so that should stabilize things.
Yeah, sure.
That was the link, guys. It just defaulted to the other screen.
Gotcha.
All right.
This is, we talked a little bit about this maybe 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, about there's lane 1 and lane 2, not to be confused with Michael Lane. There's lane 1 and lane 2. Man, that didn't even get a chuckle. Oh, okay. Delayed reaction chuckle. Delayed.
Stay in your lane.
Stay in your lane. So there's lane 1 and lane 2, and I forget which one is which, but I think it's lane 1 is the high priority national security stuff, and that gets most of the money and most of the attention. And lane 2 is for kind of the up and comers. So Stoke and Rocket Lab and Relativity, they're still stuck in lane 2. I asked then, I still wonder, like, what does it take for Rocket Lab to move into lane 1, unless it's that they're a quasi American, quasi, Australian, New Zealand company. So that they may not ever be able to get lane 1. But yeah, well, that's cool. $1.6 billion. You think that's going to move the needle for their first earnings call? And tick tick tick. I think it's the 4th.
It didn't move the needle for the stock upwards, but it may move the needle for their first earnings call a little bit.
Yeah,
a little bit. I mean,
I'm gonna write a. I was just talking about LinkedIn a second ago. I'm gonna write a LinkedIn post tomorrow, about my own trials and tribulations around money, and then on. I'm sorry, I posted that this morning, and then I'm going to post one tomorrow. The phrase decacorn?
Yes.
Means $10 billion, $10 billion dollars.
Right.
So Musk's contract is he has to get SpaceX to be worth $7,500,000,000. That's in his contract if he wants to get that billion shares. We'll get 1 billion shares, and so I'm gonna post that tomorrow. But that's 7,500 unicorns. 7,500 unicorns. Which, by the way, a grouping of unicorns is called a blessing. I learned that this week. It's a blessing of unicorns. 7,500 unicorns seems like a herd. Seems like an endless, like a buffalo herd across the plain or something. That's a lot of unicorns. That's all I'm saying. All right, moving on. Sorry, I did not mean to.
Well, you're just being you.
I'm just being me.
Okay, so when we last checked in on Boeing's Starliner in February, NASA was announcing and formally classified the crewed flight as a Type A mishap, which is a big deal, and it was a serious failure. And Jared Isaacman said the agency is working with Boeing to fully understand the risks associated and to remediate them. And so I was not going to fly his next mission, which is just a cargo flight to ISS, until those problems were identified and remediated. He didn't put a date on that. Well, now it appears this work is actually going quite well. And so they offered encouraging remarks. The redesign of the Starliner deficiencies is going well. We're feeling pretty good about that, said Boeing CEO Kelly Ortberg. And so mainly involved, the deficiencies involved the propulsion system, which imperiled the flight of the astronauts. But what happened to that helium leak? I'm looking for that. I don't see anything there. But anyway, they're looking at...
I don't know.
Yeah. Because in a world, well, it says here, in a world where SpaceX seeks to retire the Dragon in favor of Starship,
right,
and which the space community is not yet comfortable launching humans on Starship, and in which Starliner is actually flying, things could get interesting.
Okay, I hadn't.
But they're saying that maybe by the end of this year, one could fly.
Right.
You know,
I hadn't really processed that. Right, Starship not being human rated for a while. We would then be back to no access. So Starliner has to be the path. All right. I can kind of get behind that, but I'll tell you, you would have to work pretty hard to convince me that that thing is ready to fly with people on it.
Yeah.
Speaking of Isaacman, this is not in our news feed, but Diamandis just got an hour. Sorry, I don't know if everybody knows. Peter Diamandis started the X Prize, started International Space University, started a bunch of other stuff. Now he's kind of in the talk show circuit, has been for a long time. But he just got an hour and a half interview with Isaacman. It is fascinating. It is fascinating. So I'm just going to toss that out there for the world to watch that channel. And then I'm going to cut this.
All
right. Can't seem to cut it. Stop sharing.
Dallas Benoff's here, and he's saying, "Can you imagine docking Starship to ISS? Pull each other out of orbit in the
sky." Right.
Oh,
that's great. I love that. Yeah, let's do that. Let's make that a tasking order. Good job, Dallas. All right, let's move on.
Okay, I don't want to get political. I'm not going to, but it is a political thing. It's on the Hill. And so, your mileage may vary. But I thought it was worth mentioning because it just seems vaguely important. They're going to shift R&D funding from academia to individual scientists. And this is not a trivial amount of funding. It's $200 billion.
Right.
And so I'm just stumped. I have no idea what this is about or what the case is for that.
We are going to talk about this afternoon at the end of the show.
Yep.
To dig into that golden age of science report. They are responding to that. So they are taking
that's the reasoning behind it.
Right. We're still talking about the same thing, but they have a very interesting perspective on the same article that we're going to be discussing.
Yeah, I got a chance to skim it a little bit, and I know what you're talking about. So we'll definitely.
Our guy here, Jason, is actually, I'm told that he's actually spent a lot of time on that document. So hopefully Jason will pipe in with his thoughts as well. Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Yeah. So there's definitely some bias in that article.
But it's the Hill.
It's the Hill.
It's a cut it's a cut above the Guardian, though. I'll give him that.
Right. Well, no, there's a guy, Whittingham, who is hard right. So the Hill, it's certainly not unbiased. It is biased, but they do swing both left and right on that one.
Yeah. But sometimes those swings are quite, depending on the post,
right,
they're like that.
Right. I feel well, and we'll talk about this when we get to the actual document. But
Sure.
Since we're talking about it for a second, I think this is similar to the shakeup that they did with SBIRs and STTRs, where they just completely redrew the map on how to use those things. So I feel like it's that sort of shakeup, but in the same way that we don't know what's going to happen with the SBIRs and STTRs, we don't know what's going to happen with this, and this is newer, so it's very AI focused.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Next up, there is a rocket stage from SpaceX, and it was launched in January of last year, and it sent 2 commercial lunar landers toward the moon. Now, with its work done, the rocket lacked the fuel to return to Earth or move into deep space. It remained in an unstable orbit until gravity finally set it on a collision course with the lunar surface, and that's supposed to happen next week in the early hours of August 5th.
Fun.
And it's going to slam into the moon at about 8,700 kilometers per hour, about 5,500 miles. But it says the crash itself poses no danger, but here's the thing. It signals a looming regulatory problem.
Mm-hmm.
All you space lawyers listening to the show, listen up.
Right?
So as governments and companies race to build a permanent presence on the moon, there's almost no practical framework for coordinating activities that can permanently reshape the lunar environment. And so, of course, for astronomers and moon science junkies, this is an opportunity. Scientists know the rocket's size, speed, mass, and roughly where it will hit, so that impact represents a very rare chance to study exactly what happens when something impacts the moon rather hard. And so that will provide data to improve computer models of how craters form and how lunar dust behaves.
I'm actually kind of excited about that. It's kind of taking a bug and turning it into a feature.
Yeah.
I don't remember this mission, this January 2025 mission, that they had abandoned the rocket out there. I feel like that should have been news even back then, but I missed it.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of excited about this. Yeah. I think a bug into a feature is a pretty good analogy here.
Because 2 private landers. Okay, they were Blue Ghost and Resilience.
Oh, those are the ones.
That was the ride for Blue Ghost and Resilience.
Yeah, that didn't work out. Okay, all right. Yeah. So our friend Michelle Hanlon has her archive at For All Moonkind for assets on the moon, and so here's another one. Well, we should bring Michelle Hanlon back on the show. Sean, you were asking for who else we should have. I'd say let's bring her back and have her chime in on a rocket crashing, the hulk of a rocket crashing on the moon, and see what she has to say, because I suspect she has something to say about that.
Yep, and right when we start talking about this legal stuff, who shows up but Wes?
Hey, Wes.
What's fair, man? How you doing, man? Yeah.
Yeah, that is perfect. Good timing. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Veronica's like, it's geologically important. You're dang right it is, gal. It's I think it's a big deal. I did not know. I don't know if there's any sort of coordination that's happening to monitor this thing. So I hope that people are not like going to miss that opportunity. Okay. Moving on.
Okay. So private companies could ruin the night sky for the whole world. and international law can't stop them. And
Uh,
so,
also another one for Michelle Hanlon, but
yes.
Yeah.
It's funny, interesting, because interestingly, the FCC can single-handedly greenlight massive projects that completely change the view of the night sky.
right. What
The
is
rest
that?
of the world has, like those mirrors.
Right, the mirrors. Yeah.
Yeah, and so now everybody else is going, hey, wait a minute, what about the
Wait a
rest of the
minute.
world? Do people in the village in Nepal really want to see that when they used to see the Milky Way every night?
Right.
I know, I live there.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. I've been saying to every school, every kid that I talk to for years now, go outside and just look up.
Yep.
Right, because it's changing every single day or every other day now. So yeah, it's kind of a
But
big
I guess the message here is that the technology is outpacing the regulatory environment by a huge amount.
Oh, sure. Right.
And people are starting to wake up to this. So I don't know. Do you think they'll actually try to reconvene at the UN someday to update the Outer Space Treaty? Because everything derives from that.
That's a question for Wes. I asked him recently. Wes, you want to chime in on updating the Outer Space Treaty? I don't want to put words in your mouth.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's happened before. We've updated, the Law of the Sea Treaty. We've updated all sorts of things. Hell, a bunch of people in 1787 went to Philadelphia to update the Articles of Confederation, and we ended up with a constitution and a republic if you can keep it.
If you can keep it.
So, and that's something else that isn't in the news. Speaking of that, as an aside, there's this group of concerned astronauts for like peace and freedom. There's 108 of them, including 90-year-old Rusty Schweikert.
Oh yeah,
and they were all convening in California. I thought, it's
for
going to
what?
be one of those probably leaning to the left, get out the vote movements. It isn't. I looked up what they were doing. There's 108 astronauts, and they come from a wide variety of political backgrounds, all of them. And what they're pushing for is for people, though, to wake up and listen to what the Constitution's all about, and then insist that their elected leaders follow it.
Huh. All right.
I almost fainted at the desk.
All right.
So I also had another 108 potential guests for that event we want to do in the next year. So I'm keeping up with this. I'm following up with that.
Yeah. Yeah, that is cool. I like that. Wes is saying one good thing about the Outer Space Treaty is if you are legit causing a problem, it's called due regard. Okay, well.
Okay.
That doesn't really answer the question we asked of are they going to rewrite the Outer Space Treaty?
Because the question is still technology is outpacing the pace of regulatory.
Right. And we saw that during the internet days, the earliest Wild Wild West days of the internet. Same story. And then Veronica chimes in here.
That was so much damn fun, though.
It was a lot of fun. Veronica's chiming in with the policy committee at the National Space Society. Let's see. To get the space treaty updated, but it's still collecting dust.
Yep.
So that's what we got. All right. Let's move on topics here.
Okay, next topic. Are we ready for that? Okay.
Yeah.
This is a quick one. Sphinx Defense, another company I've never heard of, won a $287 million contract for strategic satellite communications software. Another Space Force award. So, but it's money. We have to talk about money in space. And when there's money in the news, boy, we talk about it.
Right.
But this is the interesting one because just because of the great picture. Experts warn current Starship heat shield tech is a dead end for rapid reuse.
Right.
And NASA has not made substantial investments in thermal protection research for decades. That's kind of the subheading.
Is that true?
That's what That's what Eric Berger is saying.
I know. Berger's a smart guy. He's got good sources, but I just found that I was a little surprised by that because I guess I just kind of assumed.
Oh my God, I know this guy,
Rasky.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. He was actually running the portal for a while.
Right. Yeah. This quote is, is Rasky credible? Rasky is credible. He co-invented Pika, the material used for the Crew Dragon's heat shield. So, Starship's current thermal protection system is a dead end for all missions that require full and rapid reusability. That is a strong sentence.
Well, if Rasky said it,
yeah,
it's credible.
Which is why Eric is repeating it, right?
Yeah, absolutely,
kind of a
absolutely.
big deal.
Right. But he also cites as reasoning when we were developing the space shuttle's ceramic tiles to insulate that vehicle, they worked, but the agency was never able to crack the code on rapid reuse, as each individual tile, and there are thousands of them, required post-flight inspections. So that's why reuse of shuttle orbiters remained expensive and time-consuming. Still, SpaceX has advantages because its steel structure is far more tolerant of heating, and it can handle much hotter temperatures. But so a little bit of burn through might be acceptable. I don't know. But as far as rapid reuse goes,
yeah.
But I love that landing, this last one. It just floated there.
Yeah, for days.
My
that's
God.
Uncanny. It is hard to picture that. It really is. Well, and Musk himself said this back in the podcast in February. If you want to be able to land, refill propellant, and fly again, you can't do this laborious inspection of 40,000 tiles type of thing. So,
well, if you don't, you're not going to have your orbiter much longer, apparently, according to Dan Rasky.
Right. Yeah.
So you want to use that orbiter 100 times? No, you'll lucky if you get 4.
Oof. Yeah. Oh, Joe is telling us it's still floating. So that thing is still out there. That booster is still just sitting in the ocean right now.
So maybe they got a tow ship on it, and they're towing it into a port somewhere. They might actually haul it. They might actually put it on a big ship and haul it back for inspection. They'll inspect that one.
I don't know who Uplifting Ventures is, but always good to have somebody outside say, has everybody subscribed to our channel? Because you know what? It would be really nice if everybody subscribed to the channel. Dallas is also saying it's still floating. So, quotes. Jinx you two. All right, let's move on.
All right.
Let's not move on just for a second because I'm just going to tell a quick story.
Okay.
I was down in Florida, not at the very last shuttle flight, but the one just before it, and they were retrofitting the last one, and I was like close enough. It was just above my head, the wingtip, and I'm like, I could touch that. I know I could touch that. And the security guard like practically read my mind. He's like, A, you can't touch that. And B, if you did, your oily fingerprints would create a smudge and we would have to replace it. So don't. Just one little mistake. It's all it takes. One little mistake. All right. It's Lisa. That's awesome. Hi, Lisa.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Another short one.
All right. What do we got?
And this is a Canadian company, MDA Space, but they issued a 600 million senior note financing offer to finance expansion in the U.S. Via private placement. Senior unsecured notes to fund its acquisition of Blue Canyon Technologies.
That is crazy town.
I know. It's a 6.5% coupon, and it matures in 2033.
No, there's more to this story, right? So I'm pretty sure that MDA is the folks that built the Canada arm. And I'm pretty sure that Blue Canyon is the group that came out of an incubator in Colorado Springs, might have been 2019, pre-pandemic. Pretty sure those two things are true. Not 100% sure that's true. So, MDA has a terrific heritage, and they have been straddling working with ESA and NASA for 30 years. As Canada, they are able to get ESA and NASA contracts. So this puts them pretty squarely in the American camp, which I'm a little surprised that that's what they wanted to do. So lots of things about this make me curious. I'm kind of interested in this. I'm probably going to follow up on it.
Yep. Oh, just a sidebar again. Dallas is here, of course. Hi, Dallas. And he said SpaceX is racing to recover the Starship.
Okay.
Per Musk and per Google. So I guess it's happening, which is very, very cool. It will probably maybe the last one we get like that. So they'll probably end up being on display on a big stand sticking up in the air at Boca, when you drive in there. Yeah.
I'd love that. I don't know. It's been floating in there for what? A week?
About a week. Yeah.
Yeah, a week. It went last Thursday, right? I think. Just after.
No, last Saturday. Just last Saturday.
Yeah. Oh,
so 5 days. 5 days.
Yeah.
But seawater can do a lot in 5 days. So get it out of there.
Nemo could find its way in. All right.
Okay.
Moving on,
man. Well, we got a couple left. So, and so obviously, probably you've heard about this before. I just wanted to mention it. So we mentioned it. And Amazon Leo is getting FCC approval to launch 5,105, not 4 or 6,
right,
satellites that will connect with mobile devices. So this is all direct-to-device. Yawn. But okay, if that's what you want to do, that's the flavor of the month with all these guys.
Right.
I'm just not seeing the numbers in that. Walt doesn't see it either. That's why we're not doing that at Avialto. We're doing Wi-Fi broadband and service and mobile backhaul, which is a lot more volume and a lot more money. So, but that's what they want to do. These guys all are on the bandwagon. It's like building, AI data centers.
Sure,
everyone's on the bandwagon. D2D,
sure.
Yes.
Yep.
Everybody will have D2D, and everyone. And you're saying Charles Miller was a co-author of that article. Well, since all this big wave of D2D constellations, everyone's forgotten who Charles Miller is.
Right, the guy who started it all, and as the phrase is, and he's got the receipts for it, right? Yep. Does not get enough credit. Does not get enough credit in the industry.
Nobody hears about Link now.
What's that?
Nobody hears about Link now. When's the
last time? I haven't heard a peep about Link. I'm gonna
Link
look it
anything.
up right now.
Yeah. But I thought it was worth mentioning. It's not a huge deal. They have a specific target audience, I guess, and 5,105 is just perfect for them.
Well, I think it's interesting because they're building them up here in the Seattle region. So and that's one of the reasons why Alan Boyle was the author here, because GeekWire is a local Seattle group.
Yep. Alan's another great one. He's like Brian Berger.
No, he's great. So yeah, this has a real direct economic impact here in our space, in our environment.
Okay.
Actually, Link Aerospace was in the news just in October 2025. So a couple months, but they're still doing stuff. And
It's been a minute.
Actually, all right. I'm going to put this up. I'm just going to steal the spotlight for a second. Link is merging. I'm literally reading this like on the spot.
Okay, maybe
Link
that's
and OmniSpace today announced. This is October. Announced plans to merge to deliver a comprehensive direct-to-device connectivity solution, bridging the gap between today's satellites and terrestrial networks. Blah blah blah. There's more here. I'm not going to read it in front of you guys.
Well, I've already figured it out. I've already figured it out just from the second paragraph. What's going on? Spectrum. It's all about having spectrum. And OmniSpace has something that Link does not have. That's it.
That's got to be it.
That's got to be it. Everything's about spectrum. When you finally build the thing, you got to have access to the right spectrum, or you can't do anything with it. So,
yeah,
this I have learned.
So yeah, it's cool that Amazon is getting out there with a 5500 sat network, 5100 satellite network. Welcome to the party, y'all. I mean, they've been talking about Amazon Leo for quite a while. What's new is, I think, the 5,000 number. I don't think.
The actual physical application has been made, and so now we are committed. Yeah, that's a huge thing. Now, the last blurb at this time of the evening: NVIDIA, the maker of all the chips that everybody knows and loves to build the AI data center that half the people hate and half the people other half want to make money on.
Right.
They've decided they want to now work with Lunar Outpost, which is a startup building robotics. They want to use their Jetson chips to control their LiDAR system. Right. So it's going to be likely to be the first GPU on the lunar surface.
Didn't Lone Star, Chris Stott and his team, didn't they get a chip up there?
Was that a GPU?
Might not have been a GPU.
We had CPUs up there for 35 years.
Yeah.
But GPUs are a different story.
Maybe not. All right. Okay. All right. Sean, you were asking for connections. Try and get Jason Batt, BHATT, Dr. Batt, on our show, because he's at Lunar Outpost, and we can talk more about this. He's their marketing director now, I think.
Yeah, I think that's a good marketing idea, Sean. He said he wanted to start a satellite repo business.
Yeah,
there we go. Right, based on Repo Man. Where's Tracy Walter when you need him? There you go. Okay. The news is not over. It's just more news. But we're now going to focus on what we kind of think of it as the topic of the night, and maybe a second one if we run out of steam on the first one. Mm-hmm. And it's all about this very, very recent report that was just put out like just a few days ago from the Space Foundation. They do this twice a year, and it's called the State of the Global Space Economy. It's an analysis of commercial and government space mid-year. So they do this twice a year, and we're both. I've scanned over it a little bit, probably more than Michael has. So we're basically, this is truly unpacking,
right,
for us at the Unknown Quantity. We are looking at this thing for pretty much the first time in real depth, and so we remove the wrapping. It's Christmas Day. What do we got?
Yeah. Well, of course, the big headline, $686 billion. And these are, by the way, 2025 numbers.
Yep.
That's pretty cool. But I got to tell you, I thought it was going to be higher. I thought we would have crested 700 billion.
I was thinking of that too, but still, it climbed 12% year over year. So that's
Yeah.
nothing to shake a stick at.
No, right.
We'll hit that 700 mark of next year if that pace continues.
So last year it was just over 600 billion, 613 or so. It's hard to tell for sure. Sorry, 2024, 600.
Yeah, over 2024.
But I'll tell you why I was a little bit disappointed. A little bit.
Okay.
Because Amazon is the biggest company in the world, and they have 700 billion in annual revenues, and I just wanted to beat Amazon. That is purely the reason. I wanted us to be bigger.
So it was a personal vendetta.
It was. And I don't dislike Amazon. I just wanted our industry collectively, globally, to
beat somebody.
Well, I'm okay with second place if you just count, but I just, for scale, I wanted our industry to beat that one company. I didn't care who it was. It could have been Apple. It could have been, Texaco. I don't care. Exxon. I don't care. But, as long as one company is bigger than our entire industry, I think we have a ways to go.
Yeah.
Right.
Of course.
That's the comparison. An industry versus a company.
Here's a chart I would like to see. I just thought about this because Amazon, I don't know what their market cap is. I presume it's in the trillions, but I think Apple is currently winning the day at 4.6 trillion in market capitalization. So you take, there are lots and lots of companies that contributed to that revenue stream last year. But what's their collective market capitalization? Somebody do that study, because I'll think you'll have a fascinating result, and it'll be a lot closer than you think. Wow, you just haven't made the revenue yet.
Right. So many of the companies are not publicly traded, but a lot of the big ones are now.
Yep.
Can we assign that to Sean? I don't know if we can assign that to Sean, but
that's he's asking for it. He goes, just break down the value stream. Well, Sean, if it's that easy,
right?
You're on. We expect a report in the morning on your next broadside that you put out there.
Yeah, no, that's I really like that. Sean, that's a whole research set of problems. Yeah.
Oh, that's what the tier ratio is for. Okay.
Yep.
Good shameless pitch. Good for
Tom,
you.
That's a great idea. That is a really, really intriguing idea. And that's the kind of thing that gets other people to report on it. That's a really, I like that a lot.
Look at this. Jason says Elon now has a bigger yacht in the Indian Ocean than Bezos does. Does that help? Maybe. Mine's bigger.
Fun. All right. No, let's keep working on this doc here a little bit.
Yep.
So that was one of the first key takeaways was mild disappointment that it wasn't just a little bit more. Do you want to talk about commercial space products versus infrastructure? I don't really have a lot to comment on that piece, so I'm going to kind of skip past that one.
I mean, the commercial space products, there is a nice chart there. I mean, the total revenue went up 13%. There's this little chart right there, that one. That's a nice little breakdown of where that revenue came from. Now, the thing at the bottom, lunar activities, is only 0.36 billion. It's $360 million, but that's still nothing to sneeze at. There is, and it's up 3.2% from last year in public filings. That's the big one. They got the biggest growth of all those items there, despite that small number. The fact that much is going to the moon at all right now, is pretty amazing.
Yeah, I don't know where that number comes from. I was kind of curious about that. You've got Lunar Outpost. We just talked about them, Intuitive and Astrobotic as playing on the same team now. Is that blue ring kind of carved out specifically. I don't know. I'm curious where they. It's one of the things about the Space Foundation. You can buy their membership and then get access to the more granular details, but we don't have it at this level.
Right, not right now.
Yeah.
Well, it says the source right there. I mean, position, navigation, and timing. Yeah. Those numbers came from the European Union Agency for the Space Program with an E. And that was the largest source of commercial revenue. And so that's a huge, huge thing. And there's going to be more of it before we're through. They won't give up. They won't quit until they're tracking everybody, even in their sleep.
Right. Yeah. I'm gonna. Sean, if you want to hit page 8, they actually do mention Link that we just described, Link Global, a moment ago. I'm gonna read that section here. Rather than competing directly with terrestrial mobile providers, most direct-to-device companies are partnering with mobile network operators to extend existing cellular coverage. SpaceX, AST, and Link Global have all established partnerships with mobile carriers such as T-Mobile, AT&T, and Verizon, allowing subscribers to access satellite connectivity using existing mobile devices and phone numbers. So that goes exactly what you were saying a minute ago there, Tom.
Yeah. And again, they're especially Link. I mean, their model is very similar to Avialto's model. It's they're having flow, throughput, just flow using the local carriers to provide it to their customers.
Yeah.
And so it's just B2B for them. Like they're wholesaling it.
The whole thing. Yep. All right. Anything else that want to talk about here?
Earth observation grows. So sale of satellite imagery is going up and up and up, apparently, and that's why the Earth observation stuff is getting more popular.
Yeah. It's almost Earth observation as a service now, right?
Yeah, it is.
There are enough what do they call it? Marketplaces. There's a couple marketplaces where you can be like, oh, I live at such and such address. Can you find my house? And it's almost that easy. And Joe Luttrell talked to me about that probably 2 years ago, but it is actually coming online.
Yeah.
Well,
that market is like 4.3 billion last year, or during this year, or during 2025. The revenue's up quite a bit. It's all downstream stuff, downstream products and services. But it's still dominated by companies based in the US and Europe, which is 83% of the market supply.
Yeah. Going back to that earlier thought for a second, I just did some math here. It's of the 686, and we know that Dr. Gerritsen has questioned those numbers because he thinks it's about a third of that. I'm not going to repeat his show from last week, but he slices the numbers a little bit differently. But the commercial sector versus the government sector is now almost an 80-20 split. And I guess I didn't think it had split that far. So that's something else I was going to bring up. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So obviously there's a 364 million in revenue for lunar exploration services. Most of that came from CLIPS.
Okay.
So NASA's commercial lunar payload.
It's funny because I really didn't think it was that far deployed. I'm looking at these numbers now, and I didn't think that much had gone out. So that's the answer. That's what I was puzzling over. Commercial revenues increasingly reflect this growing activity. Intuitive Machines reported 210 million In 2025, while Firefly generated 131 with programs including Blue Ghost. Japanese company iSpace reported 22 million in net sales for the fiscal year ending March 2026. Together, these companies generated approximately 364 million in revenue associated with commercial lunar activities. So that is a lot more than I thought there was. A lot more.
A lot more. But this infrastructure alone, I mean, that was infrastructure alone was 158 billion. That was 29.1% of the total global commercial space economy.
Yeah,
and a 16.5% increase. And these are the guys that develop and manufacture the ground infrastructure and user equipment needed to operate the systems and deliver services. And they also include the manufacture and launch of spacecraft, the production of ground stations, user equipment, the whole shooting match.
Yeah, that's cool. The more infrastructure, the better.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
There's a satellite manufacturing boom right now. Uncrewed commercial spacecraft accounted for 10.43 billion, 16% of the total market, representing a 67.2 increase from 2024. So the production volumes are going way up.
Well, we didn't post it today, but K2 just got a $500 million investment that marks them at either 8.6 or 6.8. I might have those numbers. I have those numbers backwards. $6.8 billion or 8.6 billion. They just got 500 million new dollars to expand their very, very, very large satellite buses. That's the only thing they're doing is building extraordinarily large satellite buses. Yeah. And that's not even factored into this, right? That's just another deal that we didn't talk about today. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's insane how much is going into that.
Yeah. And so, but when you look at the massive stuff, it's just, if you visualize this in your head, just massive amount of stuff that's going into orbit,
right?
And the support stuff is going into orbit, and you see this little tiny trickle going to the moon, coming out that way. And so, I hope that trickle turns into a flow and then someday a flood, but not this year.
Right. What is Sean trying to tell us here? I looked at this earlier, and there was an overwhelming focus on funding downstream applications rather than upstream applications, which is where this infrastructure sector resides. That's true. I do remember that. I would recommend people go back and look at some of Sean's posts. I think that was maybe 6 weeks ago, 7 weeks ago, something like that. Sean, give me a link, or just post a link to your because it was a really well reasoned argument, and I think people should just look at it. Okay.
Here's an interesting chart if you want to skip ahead. It's on page 18, and it shows the launch rates over a 5-year period out of all the major launch facilities in the U.S. Yeah,
that's a great chart,
isn't it? Look at that, especially the Cape. Look at the Cape.
Yeah.
20 to 85,
that's bonkers.
ASC is starting to go up a little bit, but and Vandenberg is going up a lot. Mojave has gone down to like 0.
Wow.
And the Mid-Atlantic regional, almost nothing. Yeah, look at that.
Well, okay, now Mid-Atlantic, hold my beer on that one, because somebody just built a new launch pad there? Was that Rocket Lab? I think Rocket Lab took over Mars.
Yep.
Mid-Atlantic Research Regional Spaceport. So they've got a brand new facility So this is 2025 numbers. I bet you, give it a year or two or three, and I bet you that number starts climbing. That's my solemn hope is it starts climbing. I'm gonna kind of beat the American drum for a second. Scroll back up to the chart on 16 and just look at the difference of commercial in the United States against military and civil, and then compare that to China's numbers. And then if you can imagine taking SpaceX out of that number.
Yeah. It shrinks down to, it's still higher than China, probably.
It's less than China.
Vertical bar.
It's less than China, and people are starting to really, worry about that.
Right.
Dr. Namrata Goswami has been like ringing that bell for years now that China is moving steadily ahead of the United States. And this one chart very clearly defines that. Yeah, it's really nice to be able to like, yay, America, blah, 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 164 launches. But if you took SpaceX out of that equation, it drops. And here's the thing, SpaceX themselves is taking themselves out of that equation because they have stopped accepting commercial flights after 2029 for the Falcon 9. Yeah. So what's that number going to look like? What's that number going to look like in just a year or two or three? So
I know what Elon would tell you.
Right. He's going to tell you 15,000 flights.
It's going to be better. We're going to do 1,500 flights next year.
Right.
And that bar is going to go off the chart.
Right. Yes.
And you'll never see it again.
Okay. That's fun. But if you take SpaceX out of the equation, what does the bar look like now? Yep.
Well, maybe if they want to do that, that will give someone else an opportunity to make up that slack because the demand isn't going to go away completely just because Elon wants to make Falcon go away doesn't mean there won't be a demand for that level of service at the price point that they were accustomed to.
Well, we saw by the way, here's the wrong button. Here's the report. I don't think we got that in there. We've already seen one carrier just decide to exit a market. Blue Origin left a market and left it wide open, and China jumped into it, and Virgin Galactic jumped back into it. So leaving a market's a deal. It's a thing. By the way, we only have 2 minutes left. This has been screaming through.
I know, we're having so much fun.
Anything else you want to look at?
I don't know. I mean, human commercial spaceflight slows because they're putting everything into their orbital launchers, and so although interesting, Sean mentioned it. Did Elon make a market as now daring someone to fill it in?
Wow, that's a really insightful question. I would say maybe they did, right? Rocket Lab would happily take over all 180 flights or whatever it was. I think 164 flights. Rocket Lab would happily take over that business. Relativity right behind them, and Blue right behind them.
Yep.
That might be exactly what it did. Yeah.
And that bar chart will just keep going.
Yep.
Even if it's only 100 Starship flights a year, or not, 1,500.
I would take that. I would take that.
Because at that point, it's a matter of total mass being shot up there. Now we're getting, upward mass in a huge amount for each shot. So, 100 Starships is the equivalent of what? How many Falcon 9s?
Oh God, 5, 6, something. I don't know. Yeah, it's in that range,
if not a lot more. So okay. Well, we have a minute left. Anything else you want to say about this? We've covered actually most of it.
Yeah. We haven't.
I don't know what the conclusions are going to be. I could supposedly scroll to the bottom. There's so much stuff here to talk
There's
about.
so much. I don't. I mean, we've covered a third of it, not even half. So it's
Yeah, I
worth
know.
reading, worth investigating. Maybe we'll bring it up next week when we have guests both times next week, right?
Right. Here it
Yeah.
is. Yep. Yeah, there's no, and I scrolled to the bottom, and there is no conclusion.
They're like,
There's no formal conclusion to this.
okay,
It's just ends with Russia's space program is faded,
and we're done.
and it goes to the end notes, and we're done. So okay, on that, I guess we'll pick up the golden opportunity for science on
Thursday.
Monday. And on Monday, just so you know, this will be fun. We have another self-made guy he sounds really interesting. He's very young. His name is Yuk-Chi Chan.
Oh, finally!
Yes,
Good.
He's the founder and CEO of Charter Space, and they say they are powering the future of space finance.
I'm really excited to talk to this guy.
Yep, that's going to be a boatload of fun.
Yeah,
Don't miss that, you guys. Make sure to subscribe to our channel. We need the numbers. So thanks so much.
I need the numbers.
And for Michael Lade and Sean Key, I remain Thomas Andrew Olson. Keep watching the skies.